A lot of people think branding is just a logo, and while that is part of it, it's far from the whole picture. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down, and we're going to talk about 3 things. The first, what branding really is. The second, why it matters. And third, how to start shaping your own brand, especially if you are a creative, an entrepreneur, or still a student, just figuring it all out. So part 1, what branding really is. Let's start here, and I have my whiteboard to help us through this. This is my attempt at drawing my logo, and it is a piece of branding, but your brand is so much bigger than this. Your voice, your values, your style, your audience, and your experience. Your brand is the full experience that people have with you. It's how you make them feel. It's how you show up. It's what people remember of you when you're not in the room. Now, if you Google the word branding, you will find definitions that use brand or branding to define the word branding, which is not super helpful. So the way I define it is that branding is the intentional expression of who you are, of what you offer, and why that even matters. It's how you show up in the world on purpose. Now, we have branding, and then there's marketing, and also design. So let's clarify the difference between these because there is some common confusion. Branding is who you are, marketing is how you spread the word of what you do, and design is just what makes this look and feel great. So you can have beautiful and clever visuals and clever marketing, but if you don't have clarity on your branding, these things will not connect. So say you're a musician, your brand isn't just your album art or your logo, it's your vibe on stage, it's your Instagram captions, it's your tone of voice, the values behind your lyrics, the feeling that someone walks away with after hearing or seeing your show. And the same is true for creators, business owners, and professionals of any kind. Your brand is how you communicate who you are. So now let's get into part 2, why branding matters. So why does branding matter? It's because people make decisions based on connection and trust and alignment, and your brand is how you build those things. So before you ever hop on a call or even send an invoice, you have to connect with your brand. Okay, connection, trust, and alignment. So for example, like about a year ago, I got on a call with a potential client. I don't know if she found me online or through a friend, and just wanted to ask a couple of questions. So I was just listening and answering her questions, nothing fancy. And then at the end, she told me that she was tearing up, and she said something like, "I just feel like you get me." And that moment wasn't about my pricing, it wasn't about me creating her a proposal, it was the power of my brand, because my brand, Designing the Row, is meant to help people like her feel seen and understood and supported. So when I showed up, she already felt that alignment. All I had to do was be there, and that is the power of what branding does. It attracts the right people through all of these things before the conversation even starts, and it makes your job easier because your messaging is already doing the work. And in today's world where people are just constantly scrolling and deciding and comparing and filtering, that clarity on your brand is everything. So whether you're trying to grow a business, land new clients, get hired, stand out in any way, your brand is what's going to make you memorable and magnetic. So part 3, how to start shaping your brand. And I have 5 things for you here. Let's see if I can fit them up here. So now that we know what branding is and why that matters, let's talk about where to start. Like I said, I have 5 things for you. When I teach this, whether it's a full semester with my college students or just a short workshop, I break it down into these things. First, know yourself, your mission, your values, your audience. Once you know that, you can clarify your message, even down to your tone, your tagline, what's your story. Then you need to visualize it. That's the logo, the colors, the fonts, and then share it through your website, your social media, your content. and finally evolve it, rebrand, pivot, grow. It should evolve as you evolve. So each step builds on the last, and it's not about being perfect, it's about having purpose. And your brand doesn't have to be fully formed to be powerful, which is a great thing. So 10 years ago, I'll tell you what I mean. I was interviewing for jobs because the artist manager I worked for was planning to retire, and I obviously needed to figure out my next step. And I ended up getting an offer from a very well-known music business publication here in Nashville. And the job combined music and design, and to most people, it looked like a dream role, especially for somebody like me. But after going through the interview process, I realized that I wouldn't be able to create freely, and that there wasn't really room for growth or innovation. And I would have had to box up things that made me me. And even though I hadn't launched my business or created a formal brand of any kind yet, I actually already had one because I knew what I valued. Number one, I valued creativity, purposeful design, and helping people share their voice. And those brand principles helped me make the biggest decision of my career because I turned down that job offer and started designing the row. I started my own business instead. So that decision, having my own brand, knowing myself, is what led me to what I'm doing today. So if you are just starting out and you don't have a business name or a color palette yet, don't worry, because your brand starts with your mission and your values. Remember the mission and values diagram that we did in the other video? That will help you make aligned decisions. That's what helps keep you grounded. You've got your mission and your values down here, and everything that you do starts from there. So start here and then build outward, because that is how you create a brand that feels like you and works for you. So branding, the whole point of this video, it's not just a design project or a trendy buzzword, marketing word. It's a living, breathing way that you can express who you are on purpose. So if this video has helped you shift your perspective on branding in any way, let me know in the comments. And in the next video, I'm gonna be talking all about brand consistency on social media. So I'll give you some really practical tips and action items to build on what we talked about today. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that one. And if you want to follow along with me on Instagram too, I'm obviously at Designing the Row, but also Catherine D. Forbes, if you want a little personal behind the scenes as well. So in the meantime, if you want more prompts, more strategies, more branding clarity, go grab the full 75-page personal branding workbook that I've created. It walks you through every part of the process, from defining your brand voice like we talked about, refining your visuals, and building a strong digital presence. You can get it at designingtherow.com/workbook. Again, that's free. And that is all I've got for this one. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.